This is the level of my artwork as it stands today. This is the standard at which I currently draw. When I look at this, does this mean that I don't need to learn anything else? Does it mean that, oh, excellent, I don't need to bother learning anything further to enhance and improve my skills and my craft? I believe that it doesn't matter how good your skills are, doesn't matter how good my skills are, I still need to return to the fundamentals. It's still important and imperative that I continue to underpin my craft. I have heard the question asked, do we need the fundamentals? Is there any point? Look at it this way. Imagine you've got your house and you've got a builder come in to do some work for you. If he hasn't learnt his craft and his skills, if he doesn't even know how to mix cement, are you going to let him do the work on your house? Hell no. I know it might be, some people might think, well, oh, you know, you draw really well, you can do this and it's great, why bother? I look at it this way. If I want to improve my craft, if I want to get better, then I really must spend that time enhancing what I already know. I don't believe for a moment that because I'm at this level, then it's one and done. I need to know that I can improve and grow and strengthen the craft and skills that I have. Have you ever thought about perhaps doing a drawing, a painting or writing a book, but you know that your skills aren't at that level yet? And there is that element of frustration when you think, I really want to be able to do this, but I can't because I'm just not there yet. Or you try and it just goes, I mean, it's just ugly. And you think, I am not showing anyone this because this is just too embarrassing. I have decided to go back to the basics of gesture drawing. It's funny because actually going back to that, I realised just how much I've forgotten. I realise I still need to sharpen that element of my skill. I may see someone out on the street and think, oh, I really want to be able to quickly catch that pose. And if I can't draw it and get that down within something like 15 seconds, then I've lost it. But if I have that skill and I've honed it and I've created that muscle memory, the world's my oyster as an artist. I'm not limited by my limited skills and ability. And I get it because I have sometimes sat there and thought, oh my God, if I have to practice gesture drawing once more. But I can see artwork in my mind that I want to do, that I want to create. But I am not there yet. Yeah, these are great drawings and I'm really proud of the drawings I have created so far, but there's more that I want to explore and do. And as creatives, that's what we should be doing. We really need to keep exploring and growing our craft, our skills, our abilities, rather than just settling. Because we get so far and we think, oh yeah, that's all right, I don't need to do any more. But then you reach a particular level and you go, oh, I want to draw this, and you can't. I'm not that good at drawing backgrounds. If you look at most of my drawings, there's nothing in the background. That is a skill that I would like to develop and hone and improve rather than always having a blank background. Most people perhaps don't even see and notice that, but that's something that I notice in my drawings and in my work, that I never put anything in the background. And it's funny because it's weird, because actually I never even noticed that until I was listening to an SVS Learn podcast, the Society of Visual Storytelling. Their podcast is excellent. I will put a link to that in the show notes. When I listened, I mean, they're illustrators and I'm not an illustrator, but when I heard them talking about it, I thought, do you know what? I never put anything in the background. It never dawned on me. I have learned perspective and I still need to improve those. So actually, even if I don't want to be an illustrator, which I do not, it doesn't mean not drawing backgrounds isn't a skill that I would like to learn and hone, to add more to my drawings, to add more to the imagery that I want to create. So fundamentals, I believe, are the foundation of everything that we do as creatives. It's easy to skip it, but it's not so easy to develop work at the level that you want to if you don't have those under your belt. One of the things I often hear people say when they see my drawings or we get talking about art, they'll go, oh yeah, but I can't draw, I can only draw stick figures. Have you ever spent time learning to draw? And so when they say no, I'll say, well, of course you won't know how to draw that. Of course you will not have the skills and the knowledge of how to do that because it's not something that you're interested in. Usually this is when someone will say, oh, that's why I do abstract, or I can't draw, so I just do abstract. This is what abstracthouse.com have to say about what is abstract art. Abstract art is a genre of visual art that emphasizes form, color, and texture over representational accuracy. There are a lot of people I know who do abstract drawings or paintings because they say they can't draw. My only question in that then is, do you understand what abstract is? I'm not an abstract artist, that's not my thing, so I really cannot give great advice or instruction in that area. But to say I do abstract because I can't draw or I can't draw figures, in my mind that shows a lack of understanding of what abstract art is. I often think if someone truly wants to draw, if they truly want to learn the craft of writing or photography, it doesn't matter what it is, any creative endeavour, then you would put that time in, you would put that effort in, because it's what you want to do. We will always put our time and energies into the thing that interests us most. I had a saxophone for a while and I have always wanted to learn, and although I did spend some time with it, I didn't spend as much time as I thought I would once I got one. Because although I did enjoy the saxophone, I wasn't passionate. I wasn't desperate to learn the skills that it requires. So I sold the saxophone and moved on to something else. When it comes to the fundamentals, I'm talking about light and shadow and form and colour. Doesn't matter what creative endeavour someone is doing, if they want to skip that part, then they have a massive part of their knowledge base that they are missing, and you need that to underpin what you do. It is hard work. Nobody said learning to draw is easy, and quite frankly, why should it be? When you think about a musician, they learn their scales, whether they're playing the cello, saxophone or piano. They take the time to learn their scales. Every creative endeavour has to have that time of education and training. When I was hairdressing for about 30 years, I constantly went back and was trained again and again. I always looked for ways of improving my training and my skills and my knowledge, and I developed it really well. And I was very good because I took that time to learn. And I always made sure that I went back and looked for the right courses and the right places to go for that training. Because it's not a matter of I've been to university or you've been to college, you've done your training in whatever creative field you're in, and then you think that's the end. It isn't. There's always new techniques, new ways of working. However, the foundations will always hold you up and underpin everything. You don't have to do it. I don't feel like people must absolutely do it, but you will always know that there is something lacking. And there are some fields in which you will not get near them unless you understand these fundamentals and you know what you're doing and you are willing to learn. There's a lot of people that want to work in animation, 3D, graphics, all sorts of stuff, you know, they want to work for Pixar and whoever. But there's a certain level of skill one must have if that's the level you want to aim at. And even if you don't, doesn't interest me, I still want to learn. And as a creative, oh gosh, it is hard work. It's not fun sometimes, it drives you mad. But then when you come out the other side, I tell you what, it's so buzzy, it's wonderful. I'm Shai and this is Shai Creative. Thank you very much for joining me today in this video. If you enjoyed it, do like, do subscribe, and in the comments let me know if you are currently doing the fundamentals and actually which parts of that you might struggle with the most or whatever you enjoy. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video.